You ever stop and wonder why some video games are just impossible to put down? Like, what is that magic that makes them so captivating? Well, it's not magic, and it's definitely not an accident. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and dive into the psychology of how games get you hooked and keep you coming back.
Okay, let's just admit it. We've all been here. You sit down, you tell yourself just 10 minutes, a quick game before bed, and then you blink and it's 2 in the morning. So what happened? Where did that time go? That feeling, that lost time, that's actually the result of some really clever design, and we're going to figure it out.
All right, the very first secret, the first piece of this whole puzzle is all about the science of feeling good. Games are absolute masters at tapping directly into our brain's chemistry to make us feel super, super satisfied. And it really all comes down to this one little chemical, dopamine. See, every time you accomplish something in the real world, you finish a big project at work, you solve a tough puzzle, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. It's that, heck yeah, I did it feeling. Well, games are basically designed to be dopamine machines, giving you that feeling again and again and again. And they do it using something called a reward loop. It looks simple, but wow, is it powerful. So you complete a task. Let's say you beat a level. Then you get a reward, some points, a shiny new item. Your brain releases that dopamine, which feels awesome, and that feeling makes you want to do the whole thing over again. It's a perfect self-repeating cycle of achievement.
But here's the thing, just getting rewards over and over would get boring, right? So that brings us to the second secret, the art of the perfect challenge. It's about making you work for that reward, but just enough. This really nails it. If a game is too easy, you get bored. If it's way too hard, you just get frustrated and quit. The magic, the sweet spot, is right there in the middle. It's that feeling of, man, this is tough. I almost got it. Let me try one more time. And then you finally do it. That victory feels so earned. And that's the good stuff. And the whole goal of balancing that challenge is to get you into what's known as a flow state. This is that zone, you know what I'm talking about. You're so focused, so completely absorbed that the rest of the world just fades away. Time disappears. That's why you look up at the clock and can't believe hours have passed. You weren't just playing, you were in the flow. Okay, so we've got satisfaction from rewards, we've got the perfect challenge putting us in the flow. The last ingredient that ties this all together is the power of immersion. This is what transports you to a whole other world. You see, the best games don't just feel like you're pressing buttons. They give you entire worlds to get lost in. You get to be the hero, the strategist, the explorer. And more than that, they give you agency. Your choices actually matter. They have consequences, even if it's just inside that digital world. That feeling of actually being there is incredibly powerful. So here's the key takeaway. These three things, satisfaction, challenge, and immersion, they don't work in isolation. Nope. They combine to create a powerful formula, a pattern that you can find in pretty much every single game you love. Let's take a look. And I mean, even the most simple games use this formula. Think about a basic runner game on your phone. The reward loop is getting a higher score. The challenge is dodging all the obstacles. And the immersion? That comes from the feeling of speed, the sounds, the visual feedback. Or a platformer. Collecting items is the reward, timing your jumps is the challenge, and exploring the level is the immersion. Once you see this pattern, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Now, this is where it gets really, really cool. Because once you understand this formula, it does more than just make you a smarter player. It actually gives you the power to start thinking like a game designer. It's all about this little shift in your mindset. As a player, you might just think, wow, that jump felt really good. But when you start thinking like a creator, you ask why. You realize, oh, it's because of that perfect little boing sound effect and the way the character hangs in the air for a split second. You stop just experiencing the magic and you start seeing how the trick is done. And what you realize is that you're not just learning to create code or pixels. You're learning to create experiences for other people. You're building emotion. You're engineering excitement and fun. You're giving someone else that amazing feeling of progress and eventually mastery. You're literally building feelings. And you know, the absolute best part of all this? It's not some secret, unattainable magic. These are principles. They're techniques. And anybody can learn them. You can learn to build these reward loops, design these perfect challenges, and create these incredible, immersive worlds all by yourself. So the next time you find yourself lost in a game at 2 a.m., take a second. Think about this formula. Think about the satisfaction, the challenge, the immersion, and then ask yourself a question. If you had the tools, if you could build an experience for someone else, what feeling would you want to create?